Okay, bros. We're here for your weekly NXT Fix, featuring the ever so popular Bro Ratings. Now, here's your host. Okay, bros, I'm your host, Jimmy the Gibson, and we're here for another episode of your weekly NXT Fix. NXT is continuing its momentum right into the Great American Bash coming up in 2 weeks on Tuesday, July 6th. So we started off this week with a gentleman who's competing at the Great American Bash. None other than Adam Cole, baby. That's right, Adam Cole, baby, will compete against Kyle O'Reilly, and each one of them are facing various opponents tonight. So Adam Cole comes out and says, you know what? Kyle O'Reilly picked Kushida as his challenger for tonight. Well, good for him. And if you're saying Adam Cole has to pick his opponent, no, I'm not going to do that. So you could just send out whoever. Whoever you want, send him out. Adam Cole, baby, does not abide by the rules. He plays by his own rules. And sure enough, who comes out none other than newcomer Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes says, I want my chance. I want an opportunity here. Adam Cole, baby, looks at him. What makes you think you deserve an opportunity? He goes, well, little thing I heard once before. Ruthless aggression. And he smacks Adam Cole across the face, and they continue to put on a pretty solid opening match. I thought Carmelo Hayes kind of oversold things a little bit for a newcomer. I mean, it works for Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Scott Hall. They were all top guys. I just kind of felt that some of Carmelo's kicks, when he took a super kick, when he took the Panama City Sunrise, that was kind of cool how he kind of stood on his head a little bit, but I definitely did not like the shaking of the legs, almost as if he was trying to kick out at the end of the match. Was not a fan of that. But overall, the guy's got a lot of potential. Adam Cole, baby, he's a star. He's a top guy in NXT. Pretty solid opening match. And with that being said, bros, we're going to give this one a 7.9 on the Bro Ratings. Moving on, Franky Monet says she thinks it'll be a good night for the Robert Stone brand and an excellent night for Franky Monet. And then she's saying this to Aliyah and Jessi Kamea. Robert Stone is standing there, and Robert Stone says, yeah, I agree. And as he does that, Franky Monet's dog, which I believe is called Presley, barks at Robert Stone, and he freaks out. Ah! It was a little hilarious backstage segment. Check that out for sure. Then Mackenzie Mitchell's interviewing Zoey Stark. Zoey says, you know what? She was just repaying a favor to Io Shirai, who gave her Zoey's big break in NXT. Io comes out and says, you know what, Zoey? I respect you, but I still don't like you. Could it be a potential heel turn for Io? It would be interesting character development right there, to say the least. And then we have another backstage segment. Hour one, full of backstage segments. And it's none other than L.A. Knight. Yeah. And he calls Cameron Grimes a hilljack, which was fantastic. And he says, who 100% from day one is a moron idiot, courtesy of the $1 Million Megastar. I love that. Ted DiBiase's the $1 Million Man. L.A. Knight is the $1 Million Megastar. I hope NXT keeps rolling with that. Because whose game is it? It's L.A. Knight's game. Yeah. This guy, charisma. L.A. Knight. Fantastic. Then we have a little in-ring interview. Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory. They're talking about how they abide by the rules. They respect, Samoa Joe, William Regal. And, there's a new management team here. But now we need a new champion. Johnny outclassed Cross, and he could out-wrestle him on his worst day. Well, Pete Dunne comes out asking if he's gone mad. And Johnny says, hey, no, we're law-abiding citizens here. We're going to leave the ring right now. And later on, he goes in to speak with Mr. William Regal, gives him a pencil back that he broke many weeks ago, and says, look, we're trying to do the right thing here. And Regal says, yeah, okay, well, you have a tag team match. The two of you versus Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan. And during that in-ring segment, Pete Dunne stabbed Austin Theory's finger. So Austin Theory's got his fingers all wrapped up. Pretty decent in-ring segment. I don't think it needed to be done in-ring. I think a backstage would have sufficed, but there was already so much backstage stuff, so I think that's why they put him out there in the ring. With that being said, bros, we're going to give this one a 7.0 on the bro ratings. Moving on, Cameron Grimes shows up and he's throwing money at everyone. And then we see Adam Cole. You know what? He's not talking about Kyle O'Reilly. And what he did to Hayes is exactly what he's going to do to Kyle O'Reilly at the Great American Bash. And I don't need anything else. I'm leaving, he tells Mr. Regal. And then we see another video charging 31%. Our next in-ring contest is a tag team match. Aliyah and Jessi Kamea of the Robert Stone brand versus Zoey Stark and Io Shirai. Now, during this match, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell come out to kind of get an eye on the competition. And the match took place mostly during the commercial break. Very unhappy with that. I was very excited to see Io Shirai return. I think she's one of the greatest ever to compete in NXT. Male or female, for that matter. I think Zoey Stark is fantastic. She's got a lot of upside. And this might have been some of the best stuff Aliyah and Jessi Kamea have done, maybe because of their two opponents being so solid. But the fact that it was mostly during a commercial break really put a damper on the match. Io Shirai then hits the moonsault off the top for the 1, 2, 3. Io and Zoey Stark are your winners in this match. Pretty decent showing from Jessi Kamea and Aliyah. So with that being said, bros, we're going to give that one a 7.1 on the bro ratings. Moving on. After the match, then out of nowhere, Raquel and Dakota come out saying they're the rightful challengers. Well, Ember and Shotzi come out saying they're the rightful challengers. So Candice and Indy now have 3 potential challengers. Big brawl ensues. Samoa Joe comes out. He's calling out security, breaking everything up. And we know what this is leading to. This is leading to a big match announced for next week. 3 tag team matches, a triple threat tag team match. It is Io Shirai, Zoey Stark, Raquel Gonzalez, Dakota Kai, Ember Moon, and Shotzi Blackheart. The winner of this triple threat will face Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell at the Great American Bash for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. That was a lot to say. And with that being said, here's your 1-minute figure review. Okay, bros, here is the figure we are reviewing this week. The NXT TakeOver Kevin Owens. Now, this is a big-time, legendary NXT competitor, former NXT champion. Take a look at KO right there, wearing his trademark KO sleeveless shirt, NXT TakeOver figure. Kevin Owens made his NXT debut December 11th, 2014. So now we've seen all these figures who debuted in 2013, and 2014. So we're getting to some more current guys. Kevin Owens, legendary NXT personality, fantastic wrestler, both in NXT and on Raw and SmackDown. This is a fantastic figure. So, with that being said, back to me. And we're back! NXT continues this week. Now, the second half of the show. We had some matches that were on fire, And we had a couple squash matches. So, let's get right into it. Johnny Gargano, Austin Theory versus Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan. Match was absolute fire. This was a tag team match. This almost rivaled last week's Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. This was very close. Gargano is fantastic. Pete Dunne is fantastic. And I really thought both Oney Lorcan and Austin Theory upped their game in this match. It ended when Gargano takes out Pete Dunne with a dive through the ropes, a suicide dive into a tornado DDT on the outside, comes back in the ring, hits one final beat, 1, 2, 3 on Oney Lorcan. Gargano and Theory are your winners, and big time win here. Except for after they won, Karrion Kross came out and knocked out Johnny Gargano, and Austin Theory's like trying to protect him, and Kross is just laughing with Scarlett. So I think we're going to see, as I predicted before, Kross is going to have his one-on-one matchups. He's going to go against Gargano. He's going to go against Pete Dunne. He's going to go against Cole. He's going to go against OReilly. I think NXT needs to see that, hopefully before he goes on to Raw or SmackDown. So, fantastic tag team match. The Way are your winners, kind of acting like a babyface tag team here. Crowd popped huge for Johnny freaking Wrestling. So, with that being said, bros, we're going to give this one a 8.8 on the bro ratings. Moving on, charging 41%. Then, Karrion Kross and Scarlett walking by Samoa Joe backstage. Kross said, "So these are the new rules, huh? So what's going to go on around here? Just remember, unless you are provoked." And Joe says, "But of course, champ." Lets him walk by. Scarlett turns around and looks at him. And Joe just stands there. And then Joe realizes someone's behind him, turns around, and it's Pete Dunne. And they just have an epic stare down between Pete Dunne and Samoa Joe. This is all brewing into something. All brewing into something, bros. I really hope after Kross faces Gargano, Dunne, Cole, OReilly, I hope he faces Samoa Joe. His in-ring return, wins the title from Kross. That would be of epic proportions. So, we then have a big-time squash match. It is Elektra Lopez versus Franky Monet. That's right, La Huera Loca. Formerly known as Taya Valkyrie on Impact and various, I think it's AAA, Lucha Libre promotions. Franky Monet just absolutely dominated Elektra Lopez here. Elektra Lopez maybe isn't ready for some TV matches, so maybe she needs some more training. But Franky Monet, she's a star, hits the Beth Phoenix Glamazon Slam, or whatever they're calling it, for the win. Franky Monet's got to get some more quality opponents to really show what she can do here in NXT. So, squash match, I understood why it happened, but let's start moving Franky Monet up a little bit here. With that being said, bros, we're going to give this one a 6.9 on the bro ratings. Moving on, Bronson Reed is backstage and asks, "What do I need to do to Santos Escobar? Do I need to squish him on his TV? Do I need to throw him through a window?" And then Isaiah Swerve Scott and Hit Row show up. And there's some foreshadowing, bros. Swerve, Bronson Reed. Natural match right there. But Hit Row is getting ready for their match against Ever Rise. I think they called him Ever Fail, which was clever. But Ever Rise rules. Don't forget that. Then they show a video footage from early in their day. Ever Rise is going incognito. They got masks, but they got their shirts on. The masks aren't even pulled down all the way. Matt Martell has the Ever Rise mug, and they're going to get ready to spray paint the car of Hit Row. They're going to write Ever Rise rules. So, Chase Parker, you write Ever Rise. Matt Martell, you write rules. And they run up to the car. Window rolls down and it's Top Dollar in the driver's seat. And he goes, look, ski masks don't work when your name's on your shirt. And they're like, wait, you could tell it was us? And they ran away. Absolutely hilarious bit on NXT. Everrise does, in fact, rule. And with that being said, our next in-ring match is Everrise versus Hit Row. Hit Row. If you don't know, now you know. And Everrise didn't know. But now they know. Because they got absolutely demolished by Top Dollar, Ashanti the Adonis. Hit Row's your winners in a complete squash tag team match. But I will say, Ashanti the Adonis probably does have the best drop kick in the business. By far. Hit Row's your winner in this match, as they should have. Just wish it wasn't a total complete squash like it was. With that being said, bros, we're going to give this one a 7.2 on the bro ratings. Moving on, Mercedes Martinez announced to be in a mixed tag team match next week, but she doesn't have a partner. Then she's attacked by Xia Li and Boa, and Jake Atlas makes the save, setting up this mixed tag team match. Going into your main event of the evening, a non-title match of epic proportions. It is Kushida versus Kyle O'Reilly. Big time match. These guys are both fantastic. This was a match of counters, reversals, submissions, stiff forearms, stiff kicks, just brutal looking just submissions, and who was going to tap out first, who was going to pass out, would someone get a quick pinfall? Turns out it was Kyle O'Reilly getting a roll-up pinfall on Kushida in a fantastic match. I just wish they had a little more time. That's all I wanted, but this match was an absolute banger. Kushida, Kyle O'Reilly absolutely delivered on NXT, and after the match is over, Adam Cole comes out, attacks Kyle O'Reilly. Joe comes out with security, separates them. In the ring, Kushida is attacked by a masked man and two other men along the outside. Turns out it is Roderick Strong. And the two men on the outside, Tyler Rust and a man we don't know, found out his name is Hideki Suzuki. And here comes Malcolm Bivens in the ring, and he says, "This is Diamond Mine." Boom. Big time introduction to a new faction in NXT, and welcome back Roddy Strong. Fantastic match, great cliffhanger ending, loved all of it. So with that being said, bros, we're going to give this one a 8.9 on the bro rating. So that means that was your match of the night, Kushida versus Kyle O'Reilly. Now, we had 7 matches or in-ring segments, giving us an average this week of 7.69. A little down from last week, but still, anything over a 7.5 average is a solid show. Now, it's prediction time! Wow! What's gonna happen? Here's what we got coming up on NXT next week. We're going to have Cameron Grimes going to the moon, and he's going to defeat some bum. Who knows? It's unannounced, but look for Cameron Grimes to get a big win in a new babyface role. Hopefully we see Ted DiBiase come out either with him or after the match, and they form an alliance to go after LA Knight. Then, Mercedes Martinez and Jake Atlas will defeat Xia Li and Boa. It will be Jake Atlas pinning Boa in the mixed tag team match. And what should be your main event, triple threat, tag team match for the number one contendership for the women's tag team titles. I think you got Io Shirai and Zoey Stark. Very good possibility. Io can very easily win that match. Ember and Shotzi, we've seen that before, so I don't think they're really winning so much. But your winners will be Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. They're going to get the tag title shot. We need to showcase the women's champion also going after the women's tag team championship at the Great American Bash. And something's going to happen when they don't win. Candice and India are going to retain. And that is when Dakota is going to turn on Raquel. I'm calling it right now. Those are predictions for next week and future storylines. So there you have it, folks. I'm your host, Jimmy the Gibson. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. And we will see you next week. Later, bros.